Willard and Dibs are in the building for a little changeover.
How we doing, boys?
We're good.
I'm so glad the Warriors figured it out. So now we know Steph just averages 47 a game and just take
Plays
over the
38
fourth
minutes.
quarter.
That's the blueprint.
Just do not let anybody else shoot any shots. Just take over the game and will your team across the finish line. Let's just do that about 70 more times, and everything is good. So
you got a Chamberlain in it. That's basically what he has to do. He's got to wilt it.
That was a whole lot of worrying about nothing. Thank goodness.
Yeah, they're back.
All right.
They're back.
Here we go.
And forget the Warriors being back. More importantly, Joe and I are back because what happened this morning was a bit of ugliness, Bonte, because I was listening as I always do, and I texted Joe. Normally I text you, Bonte, if I have insights. I texted Joe.
I thought I was the morning roast in-show texter. I didn't know you were doing this.
I'm trying to get on your coattails here, and they were talking about Wiseman, and you guys were saying, what does Wiseman need? And I said, confidence.
Yes.
So I just texted one word, confidence, knowing full well that the CHP is cracking down on texting while driving. Well, I wasn't really driving. I was parked at the Bay Bridge, and I was looking at nothing but brake lights. And so I texted Joe. And you know, when you're a show host and you text and you're waiting to hear your shout out, and it's great, and I'm waiting and I got nothing. And I'm waiting and I got nothing. And I'm waiting and I got nothing. And I come in and I see Joe during the break, and I'm like, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" You know,
we're exchanging pleasantries.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's kind of my new thing. I'm trying to get here earlier. And Joe goes, "Wait, you texted me?" I go, "Yeah, I texted you. Confidence." He looks and he goes, "Sorry, bro. You're blocked." And I go, "Whoa!" And then Shasky says to me, and then Shasky says to me, he's like, "Yeah, I told you like 4 weeks ago something. Did you get that?"
It was about your daughter.
Yeah.
I said congratulations on
and
the
I
birth.
looked and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get that." You're blocked too. So we had a mutual unblocking this morning. So forget the Warriors being back. Shasky and I, we're back, baby.
Story.
I'm pretty
That's
awkward.
an amazing story. By the way,
Thank you. Hope I didn't take too much time for that.
that was a great story.
It was a mutual
great story.
unblocking. We hugged it out, and it's all good.
As a professional interviewer, I have so many questions, but I think I'm going to
let it
hesitate.
ride.
And
Let's go to Mark in the
there's a
back.
very obvious question for both of you that I won't ask. But
how about we rip this guy in the YouTube chat
Let's
right
do
now?
it.
You know
is the
who's in
chat
YouTube
back on? Is the chat back on?
Chat's back on.
Oh, good.
Chat is lit.
Chat's on.
Danny Freisiger, former assistant program director, in the chat.
No.
Hey, guys.
There are 550 people in here. Y'all need to hit the thumbs up button. 3 exclamation points. There are 550 people in here, guys. Y'all need to hit the thumbs up button. No good morning. Hey, great show. Hey, guys, good. Thanks for listening. Y'all need to hit the thumbs up button.
Wait, you or them?
That's Danny's Fry. He's telling
Danny's telling all of them
He's telling them.
that they need to, hit the thumbs up
These
button.
dudes.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Second you said that, look at all the thumbs up button. Now I'm live streaming the thumbs up button. It's going crazy right
Danny
now.
Fry was ESPN 1320. Shouldn't it be like consoling Sacramento King fans for not getting the foul call at the end of the game?
Seriously.
Okay.
And Mike Brown's, well, before we get to that, Mike Brown's quote after the game, he is so right. And the officiating, he said it's really hard to be the Sacramento Kings.
He did. It was
He's so right.
And he's so right, because that's a foul, people.
100%.
And when Steph Curry, the pump fake, he does lean in, but the player was coming into his space.
Yeah.
That's also a foul.
Yes.
It's become really, really tough to officiate the NBA. I think it's the hardest of all the sports, because every single trip down the floor, there is an action where somebody's asking for something, and you could call a foul like holding. You could call holding on every play. You could call a foul on every play.
Yeah.
And to see Steph, he didn't lose it, but to see Steph like walk down an official, you saw the ref backpedal. Like
Never seen him do that.
That
hilarious.
was
That was crazy.
Well, except for that, didn't you guys feel like that had almost nothing to do with that play or that
He's
call?
frustrated about everything else.
But it was strategic.
Yes.
There was a message there that quite frankly wasn't even mainly for the ref or the refs. It was for the team. It was for the arena.
Yeah.
It was for like just the situation that we're in. I mean, I was really taken aback. I was happy to see it, but I was taken aback by how many players openly admitted they played last night like it was game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Wow.
They were like, we have got to win this game. It was Monday. November
I know.
7th at home against the Kings, and they played that thing like it was a
Boston, June.
must-win situation.
Mark, did you see the exchange? Because B says he obviously had Curry on the post-game show, so he didn't see it.
Hurry up, hustle.
Yeah, so
we'll get to see all
Draymond
these
put
things.
his
It's a really
arm
cool
around.
reason to miss something, by the way.
Draymond put
Sorry, I was talking to Steph. What? Go
Draymond
ahead.
put his arm around Curry. I don't know if you guys caught this.
Yeah.
And he like held it in there. And look, maybe I'm making too much of it or whatever. But I looked at that exchange. I was like, damn, did they just knock out the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs? Like what?
Yeah.
The level of like, oh, thank God we did that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I felt through the television. And believe me, I was right there with them.
3-8.
So my
with
point
the,
being
with
is
the
like,
Cavs coming on Friday. That's what they were
Don't
looking
sleep
at.
on the Cavs, Mark.
I'm
and
not.
look,
I'm
it's a great
awake.
win, and maybe 2 weeks from now, they figure it out and they get better and better. Something's really off here, and it feels like they're going to have to make either major evolution of their rotations, of their expectations, of this and that, or a move. Like something's got to give here.
So here's the phrase, and I wonder what everybody in the room thinks about this, because we've already heard it 1,000 times this season, and we're going to hear it 1 billion more. Figure it out. Can they figure it out? Sometimes it gets a little triggering because, for instance, the Los Angeles Lakers do this, right? This like franchises like that, they can't accept ever the idea that the roster has just been constructed poorly.
Yeah,
they're just like, for instance, Darvin Ham last night. I vow a turnaround. Don't do that, dude. It's not going to turn around.
Yeah.
Your roster can't do it.
Your roster's done.
You can't do it. That's actually my concern when I watch this, because quote unquote figure it out. Like, we're going to get into this today. We're going to ask the callers this. We certainly want to hear from you. I'd love to start with you too. How do you fix this?
I think it starts on perimeter defense for me. Perimeter defense, because they're getting blown by everyone. It feels like the whole league has gotten a little more athletic. They've gotten a step slower, and they're hacking, and it's compromising Looney's foul situation early in games. It's compromising their rotations. I've suggested a million different things. I don't know what the exact lineup is, because to Bonte's point, you take one guy off the floor and you're suffering in this area, and you don't want to deplete what is an efficient starting unit. Their bench is so bad. I am open to every single suggestion. You want to play this guy in the start. Clay comes off the bench. Draymond comes off the bench. Looney comes off. It sounds absurd, but at this point, I got to take what's really good and spread it out over what's really awful to make it not so awful.
What's really good right now? It's one guy. You
Steph
got 99
and Wiggins.
problems, but a Steph ain't one.
So
Wiggins has been fine.
Wiggins is playing good ball.
Draymond is actually playing pretty well as well.
Wiggins 13 points,
And
5 for 5 in the fourth quarter last night.
Those back-to-back threes,
Three
they don't
for
win
three.
the game without
Jonathan
those.
Kuminga gets the seal of approval from the head coach. Hey, he's in the rotation. 9 minutes.
Sort of.
And then
Doesn't play
Minus
the second-
17.
I know, doesn't
By
play the
way,
second half.
Those are like among the worst 9 minutes from a plus-minus standpoint. That projects out to be like a minus 60 over the course of a whole game. Jordan Poole is in a funk
What's going on?
And I think we all know what's going on. He got punched in the mouth.
Yes.
The guy who hit him was not punished, and then Jordan Poole got a 9-figure raise. So if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm thinking, I don't give a blank. Of course
What's
I want
that?
to win, but I got my bag. I got punched, and the guy who hit me did not get punched at all. What's he thinking right now?
2 points, 3 turnovers last night, and he had
4
the
shots,
blocker.
Bonte.
That's the
Maybe he
thing.
needs to go
This
back
is
to
a guy
Detroit.
with
shots.
Maybe he needs to go back to Detroit, where he scored 12 points in 52 seconds.
Did he start
Their
that
third
game?
quarter? No, he didn't start. He did start that game. He did start that game because Clay took the day off after a back-to-back. That was a back-to-back, Charlotte to Detroit.
And we
So he
can get
started
to
that
Clay
game.
because Clay is a bigger problem to me than Jordan Poole.
No,
Why
not even
is that?
close.
Well, I want to hear this.
Because-
Of course you want to hear it.
Because Clay, every time Clay touches the ball,
been
all
hating on
he's
Clay
thinking
for
about
6
is
months.
shooting the ball. Klay Thompson is fixated right now on him getting back to where he needs to be. He shoots way too much. He's only looking for his shot. He's not in the flow of the offense. He's in the flow of Clay.
Yeah, but see, I get where Bonte, I get where you're coming from on this one, because to tell Clay to stop shooting feels to me like go to baseball. If you're in a slump, that'd be like sending the guy to the plate without a bat. Being like, you're not hitting well, so don't swing.
And the fact
like,
is,
this is like a guy who used to throw 99, who now has to learn you throw 94.
I
It's
get
different.
I get you, and believe me, I feel all the frustrations you feel. But if he's gonna be out there, you have to play. Like
But
sending.
he can't guard
But the-
perimeter
but-
guys
but-
anymore.
Then like I feel like there's
that's a
an inch.
misnomer, too.
There's an inch between what you guys are saying and just saying sit down.
no, it's not
If
sit
he's-
down.
but he-
Can I get in here for a second?
Change
Stop
the role.
shooting the first shot that you
Yes.
get.
That's
Well,
what he's there to
but
do.
he's getting open looks.
That's what
he's
he
missing
does.
open looks.
That's
he's
Clay.
missing wide open looks.
And he's also missing contested looks,
Yeah,
and he's
contested-
missing mid-range looks.
But he's missing.
Turning
I'm
it
focusing
over.
on the open looks that he's missing. Those are going to drop.
You said something
in
earlier
terms-
that I think is spot on. The mid-range.
The
Clay,
mid-range.
find your
Find the
home in the
mid-range.
mid-range.
Exactly.
Your
His-
three ball is not falling.
There you go. The legs are
Get
not
to the
there yet.
mid-range, yes.
The legs are not there yet.
Yes.
Find the mid-range. But he is getting open looks from the three-point line. He's getting open looks from the mid-range. He's going to hit those shots. Defensively, we know he's not the same defender. We saw that last season on the perimeter. At times, he can guard on the perimeter. At times, he can't. Malik Monk is a beast to deal with. Malik Monk is quick, fast, and he's a damn good bench player for the Sacramento Kings. I like Malik Monk a lot. He can't guard those guys anymore. I get all that. Can he guard in the paint? Absolutely. Jimmy Butler tried to post him up late in the Miami game and couldn't do anything against him. Late in the game, go watch that possession. Jimmy Butler, pump fake, Clay's right there. So he can still defend, but he can't defend at the level he used to. He got 2 major injuries. Of course he's not going to defend like that.
Yeah,
So that's
I mean,
what Wiggins is for.
But when you have him and Draymond and Looney out there, there's a redundancy of who they can guard. Is what I'm
No,
getting.
but they're
at.
also
Right, right.
the game is about getting buckets, though. And if you bench Klay
100%.
Thompson, now you got Wiggins and Steph, Draymond and Looney. Who else are you going to
I'm
start?
not saying
Getting
bench
buckets.
Klay
See, this
Thompson.
is where-
I'm
Yeah.
saying for Clay
Discernment.
himself, I
does
love
have-
that word discernment. Start to take better shots
That's
because
exactly
my
it.
That's
sense
it.
of Clay is, he's thinking in terms of it's another Claymaker game, and those games aren't coming because his legs aren't there, because he's older, because he's rusty, whatever the reason is. Every time he gets the ball, he's going to shoot it.
To me, it's maybe focusing too much on one guy. Like when I think of the whole decade, what made Warrior basketball what it is, if I had to point to one thing,
Selflessness.
ball movement.
Yes.
Ball movement,
And
I don't
off-ball movement.
and I do right, and I don't, and maybe that's actually
They're
what's
stagnant. They're stagnant.
well, but Clay can't run like
I
he
know.
used to.
When was the last time you saw him and Curry? Because this is a famous
Yeah,
one
so-
where they hook their arms and they do that spring shot catapult play. I'm not seeing the other players set screens for them, and I'm also not seeing them go baseline to baseline, baseline to
That's
baseline.
a problem with the bench players.
Yeah, the energy looks
Agreed.
down.
The
Actually,
starters are fine. The starters built a 27-15 lead.
You know
how
what?
many times we need to see the starters build a lead?
Every
The
game.
starters outscored the Kings 37-25 in the fourth quarter. That's
it's-
a plus 12.
it's
And
a-
a plus 12. That's a plus 24. So the starters, to me, is not the damn problem. Problem number 1 is the bench, and problem number 2 is Jordan Poole.
So if
Jordan
you're not,
Poole's
gonna, but if
doing
you're not,
anything.
gonna, so hear me out. If you're not going to upgrade via a trade for right now the bench, how do you make the bench better without changing up some of the rotations and personnel?
So if you bench Clay, we're just talking about Klay Thompson looking for his own shot.
Right.
When the hell's Clay ever been a facilitator?
Never.
So how is he going to make the second unit better when he's looking for his shot?
Oh, I'm not saying bench Clay at all. I'm just
No, I'm
saying
just saying,
show some discernment in terms
No
of
doubt. Shot selection needs to be
every
better.
time he gets the ball, it feels like he's thinking, I'm going to get myself back to being the Clay Thompson I was. And other than that, Andrew Wiggins, great game. Steph Curry, my God, an otherworldly game. Steph had 47
47,
and you
8,
had to scratch and claw. And
And
by the way,
pray.
Sacramento, do you know?
Can you foul?
Games, can you? I mean,
Dude,
good
Dibs.
God, Joe.
That was high school level.
That was so
Literally,
funny.
Sabonis is standing next to them, and he's like, foul them!
That was Davion, right? Davion looked like, I mean, he just, it was one of the funnier things.
I couldn't believe it.
He
You
was just
guys are
guarding
down
him.
one.
He was guarding him. He's like,
that
you're
shot clock is off.
Davion's the whole arena
I
was.
couldn't believe it.
Davion's guarding him like, you're not going to get to the hole on me. and Steph's like, you're right. We'll just stand here until the game ends.
And they didn't even try to
It's
tie him
hysterical.
up. He just kind of like
So
pivoted
bad.
a little.
So
They
great.
had a chance to
All right,
foul Draymond Green.
Bonte.
They fouled
Right, exactly.
How would you answer it? And then extension. I know you sit there and watch these games with guys who've played. So
Good little players.
how do you fix it? What are you hearing and what are you thinking?
Well, what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking and what I'm hearing is that this bench is just not ready. We miscalculated the development of Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, and Moses Moody.
That's jazz, baby.
Anthony Lamb
that's
and Ty
gospel
Jerome.
is what that is.
That's what it is. And so now you ask
So that's
yourself.
not a fix,
so it's
'cause
not
that's a
fix.
problem.
It's
Yeah.
a
That's a
problem.
problem.
It's 99
And
problems.
guess what? They're not going to get better by sitting. James Wiseman picked up a DMP yesterday. You telling me that young man is going to get better by sitting when the calendar flipped to 2020 and he's only played in 49 games? Because last night doesn't count. He got a DNP.
Yeah, you corrected yourself this morning. It was pretty good.
He's got a DNP. So 49 games since 2020. He's not going to get better sitting on the bench. So do you send him to the G League? Now you got to bring somebody up. Who is it? Travion Williams? He's probably not ready. You know what I'm saying?
So we're
Think
going to
about
play
this.
Lamb and Travion Williams.
So now,
little player.
And so now Kuminga, to your point, Dibs. Steve Kerr talks about, hey, we're going to tweak the rotation.
Yeah,
and
he's
Kuminga's
in.
He's
He's
in. He plays 9 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
All in the first half.
He had a great dunk.
He had a great dunk.
And then
he's a minus 17 on
no
the flow.
defense.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's almost impossible, by the way, on a team this good to play 9 minutes and be a minus
So
17.
can you fix the bench?
No, you can't.
No.
Can you
can't.
withstand them making mistakes while trying to win? That's where the 2 timeline thing comes into play here. Last year, we all said, 2 timeline, but it was a lot more Otto Porter Jr. It was a lot more GP2. It was a lot more JTA. It was a lot more
Bielitsa, exactly.
Lee,
All those guys, yeah.
You don't have those guys.
It's JP for me, man. He's just nowhere to be found.
Look, there's obvious stuff.
What's going on?
There's
Maybe you
obvious
should have waited
stuff.
to pay him.
There's obvious stuff with players who Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, top of the list. They're gonna have to play better, right? So that's there's
100%.
there's nothing really to break down there. But I sat down last night, very intrigued to know what these changes in rotation would be. And by the fourth quarter, I'm done scratching my head. I'm like, Anthony Lamb is playing down the stretch. Moody ended up with 9 minutes. We're talking about Kuminga's 9 minutes. Moody ends up with 9. Green ends up with a DMP. I was like, that's the fix? What, Anthony Lamb?
The reality is, I hate to say this, and here's the thing. They are 2 of your better players off the bench, which is a sad indictment of where they're at right now.
Like, I mean, they're not.
I don't even like Lamb, but like he's better than what they have.
You got to have Lamb right
With a
now.
little mint jelly.
Oh, it's so good. Tender, medium rare.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
that's
I'm like that, yes.
The hard part, and that's why I think we really want to dive in on that question today, is because we're openly admitting that A, is it very difficult to find an answer, and B, in this moment, we're only, what are we now, 11 games in? So, like, it's not time to, throw everything off of a cliff. But I think we're all freely admitting, like, the quick answer to what the fix is right now, it feels like there isn't one.
There isn't.
It's outside the organization.
They ended a 5-game losing streak, and we are more panicked today than we were yesterday.
They look terrible.
But think about that,
They
Mark.
looked terrible.
They went 0-5 to the
Steph
trip.
Curry
and
saved their you-know-what.
your panic meter might have gone up yesterday, and we'll get into
there's
that
no
9
doubt.
to noon. And
There's no
in
doubt.
a win,
There's no
they
doubt.
ended a 5-game skid.
If my panic meter would have gone down if they had covered.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
They didn't cover. You shouldn't
Yeah,
have bet
it's
on
big
that.
spread.
It was
8 and a hook.
sharp money on the
7.5,
Kings last
8,
night.
yeah.
Sharp
8.
money on the Kings last night.
Yeah.
I would have took the Kings.
I'm not-
if I was
And
I
I
love
don't
the
even-
Warriors
I
in
don't
the
even-
first half as a bet, and
Right.
then they go out and they do that. So
I didn't
thank
even,
God I stopped betting.
And to me, it's
Shout out to Breeders' Cup.
not even about covering. It's about dominating. Like it's about a game and a situation coming off of a 5-game, 0 for 5 road trip and a very beatable team and a situation where you're coming out with a new plan and your starters were turned all the way up to where they were playing with total urgency and playing it like a must-win, and that's what it looked like.
Let me ask you guys this.
That's not good.
I'm with you.
That's not good.
I'll play this game. I'll play this game since people want to play
Let's play it.
I'll play this game. You move Klay to the bench and you start Jordan Poole. What does it look like?
I think Jordan Poole is going to be rougher defensively.
Right.
That's why I think it actually has to be Moody for the first 4 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, just to start off so you have a little better on-ball defense.
Moody doesn't even know where to be on the
No,
floor.
he's regressed.
You see Steph Curry? Get your ass in the corner. Run. What are you doing? These guys don't even know where to be on the floor, Mark.
Right.
They don't. So I don't. You got to roll with the starters who are getting you leads. They're still, despite Klay chucking, they're getting you leads. And I get it. They've blown a couple games down the stretch. But this bench is horrific.
Well, look.
And Wiseman, you may have to just say, you know what, the youngsters, bye-bye. Let's go find reinforcements
you're asking me
elsewhere.
You
now to
can't
put money-
find reinforcements. How are you going to find reinforcements? I mean, first of all, you'd have to make a major trade.
That's what it's gonna
And
come
you're
down
not
to,
trading
yes.
Draymond Green.
No,
Now,
you're
let's
not.
just take that off the table.
You're not.
He right now is your third best player.
Exactly.
It goes Steph, followed by Steph, who's at his worst. Then Wiggins.
Steph's right leg, then Steph's left leg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes Steph, Wiggins,
Hopefully the ankle's
Draymond,
okay.
and then Looney, and then the rest of them, forget about it. You got about 3, you got maybe 2.5 to 3 good players right now who you can look at and go, you guys are playing great.
Yes.
I'll answer your question. If you swap out Klay and Jordan Poole, it gets worse. It gets worse because I actually have patience right now for Jordan Poole. I think it's interesting that in a 2 to 3 week stretch, we went from most sympathetic figure in sports to celebrating a contract extension to we hate this guy, you need to trade him, and he's a problem.
I don't think you trade him. You can't trade him.
I think that's too extreme.
It's extreme, but you know what I mean.
Where the
you know
guy
what I mean.
Who was joyous? Where'd that guy go? The charismatic guy.
I guess my point is the patience I have is the fishbowl that he is currently sitting in the last month and a half of his life is something he has not even come close to experiencing before.
None of us.
It's like his rookie year.
The guy was the
Quite frankly.
It's actually not even. It's way
He's
worse.
shooting 29% in November, which is what he shot his rookie
Yeah,
year.
you're talking about stats.
5 for 24
I'm
from
talking
three the last 4 games.
But I'm
Every
talking
arena-
about the human
Yeah,
experience.
I'm with you on
this
this
guy
one.
was the lead story on every sports
TMZ.
show
No, you're right.
for a week
Yeah.
and a half. Then he got a contract extension, which puts pressure on a player because they want to live up to it. I'm not saying I'll just excuse the whole year, but I'm gonna give this guy a little time to figure out his new life.
Does Clay get time?
Well, yeah, you don't have any choice, and he's
Yeah.
Clay.
Yeah.
He's Clay. I mean, and that's my point. Like, when it goes in sports, it goes fast.
Or it's a slow drip.
Sometimes, but it's hard for us to go, wait a minute, June was 5 months ago. 5 months ago, Klay Thompson was able to take Ja Morant on a very key possession and win game 1 in Memphis.
Yeah.
And now we're saying he can't guard people.
No.
Right?
No, see,
And
that's where I think the nuance is, because I've said this to him. Great players, even when they're slipping, okay, they will draw, and time from time they will have their moments. No one's saying he's going to explode and have a 25-point, 30-point game. It's going to come. But what made him was the Wolverine act every night of guarding the best perimeter player for the majority of the time that he was out there and being able to switch 1 through 3, 1 through 4.
No doubt.
That's what made him Clay.
But I'm not even just talking about Clay. Like 5 months ago, this team, its core, won a championship, and now it's like they need Herculean efforts to even beat the Kings at home.
Right.
That's
But
alarming.
it's because the second unit is so much
It's
worse.
different.
It's
bad.
beyond worse.
Yeah.
It is different, but
It's
if
worse
you-
than it was 2 years ago, Dibs.
If you took that second unit
think
and they
you're right.
played 5-on-5 against this second unit, that second unit wins by 25 every
Yeah.
single night.
But there are individuals here that we expected to be fine this year who aren't. You know, go watch a Tampa Bay Bucks game. When it ends, it goes fast. It goes really fast. And I know he had a wonderful 52-second drive
to
or
your
whatever.
point, like Clay, he can defend
But,
someone, and Brady can draw back for 44 seconds and still have his moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Rams 9 months ago, 10 months ago, they won a Super Bowl.
It's ending fast.
Now they can't.
Yeah.
They can't get to 17 points. So stuff like the little things, like their offensive line went down. Here, the Warriors
Lincecum.
bench, couple guys. Like it just takes these subtle moves. Steph said it last night. The line between winning and losing in professional sports is so fine, and they jumped sides. They jumped to the other side of the fence. They got to climb their way back over, and it's not going to be easy.
You got 6 of their top 10 who have regressed, and that to me is the biggest issue because I mean Jordan
good way of
Poole,
putting it.
only Jordan Poole knows what really is wrong with Jordan Poole, but put aside
may
the
not
fact
even know.
Put aside the fact that he's not playing well. 4 shots. Jordan Poole only took 4 shots. This is a guy screaming money time. This is a guy who was gunning at Michigan. This is a gunner.
Okay,
And he's shying away from shooting.
That's super interesting. That's what if there's one thing that shows me because I don't want to psychoanalyze.
mojo.
I don't want to psychoanalyze what it is.
Yeah.
But that fact that you just brought up tells me it is mental. This is not a physical issue for Jordan
Mark,
Poole.
when he played last year,
the fact that he's now not wanting to shoot, right? It's almost, I don't know if he's trying to prove a point or if there's a mental issue.
Yeah.
Remember when Kobe was like, fine, I won't shoot.
Right,
For like,
right.
you know,
yeah,
like,
that was
I,
their playoff.
That was
I don't,
Kobe.
I don't know what's going
Suns.
on, but it's in between the ears.
when Poole would get the ball at home at Chase Center, I said to him, and I only went to a handful of games, I'm like, dude, the arena just acts different when the ball's in his hands. And he would have this whole aura about him when the ball's in his hands. Something special's about to happen. He's going to light somebody up, cross him over. All of that is zapped. I look at a guy who literally lost his superpowers, it feels like.
He'll get it back.
Oh, I
He'll
hope
get it back.
they need it.
He'll get it back. Of the people who are underperforming, I am actually least concerned about him because he's, 23 years old?
Who are you the most concerned about?
Clay.
Okay.
Klay Thompson, because I feel like we've accidentally slipped into the same conversation we were having about Clay in January. And it was like, we spent all July going, and now next year, you get regular Clay. You get Clay with an offseason. You get Clay having played basketball. You get Clay who's not mentally worried about legs anymore. And we've fallen back into sounding like the same guy who slow played coming back from these injuries in January. When I say slow played, like, I don't want that to sound disrespectful. I get it. But like, we're 2 years removed from these injuries, and I get it.
Does it matter that he went through a summer for the first time since 2018 where he didn't have to rehab?
Right.
First summer, 4 years.
But he
right?
didn't want to play.
It didn't want to play because mentally he was like, I don't want to risk another injury. And then you don't play 5-on-5. You don't really go through the drills that he's accustomed to going. So this is his preseason.
I'm way more concerned about Jordan Poole than I am Klay Thompson.
Me too.
I mean, if Clay's legs come back, Clay's game will come back. Jordan Poole,
but
4 shot attempts?
But what if they don't?
Clay is definitely slipping.
Jordan Poole is physically going to be fine.
Oh, it's mentally, though. And he's surrounded by the guy who punched him in the face and got away with it.
See, that's... I can't stop thinking about
Me
that.
either.
And everyone's like, oh, they're just going to have to figure it out. You got to get over it. And I'm like, well, it feels like the kid hasn't gotten over it.
All right, so how do you fix it? That's what we're going to be asking everybody. And Warriors assistant Jama Malalela is coming up at 10.
Nice scoop there. Nice scoop.
What we do.
Scoop and
Middays.
score.
Let's go.
Scoop and score. You know what I mean?
Morning
Scoop and
drive.
score.
Don't mean the same. It's not the same as it was 5 years ago.
Look at 2 Chainz over here.
You know, it is what it is.
Wait, we're not allowed
Have
to
a
talk
good
to
show.
some people on our show?
No, we're shout out. It's a conversation for Raymond Ritter. That's all.
Bruce
It's a conversation
Bochy was
for
here
Raymond
last
Ritter.
week.
And Bonte's crumbs.